guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com is an American website with the biggest collection of chunky yarns for hand and arm knitting. Today I will show you how to add a yarn. I will be using this beautiful royal blue color to the existing blanket. If you're watching my channel, you saw me creating this twisted stitch blanket in blue, gray blue, and gray, and I made it very, very narrow. So this is the width of this blanket. So I made it on purpose because I wanted to show you how to add to the existing blanket. Sometimes we make a blanket and then we think, I would like it to be a little bit wider. So today I will show you how to add a few rows on the sides. And on this side, I will show you how to add in a different direction from the original blanket. On this side, I will show you how to add in the same direction. And then you can also add on the top of the blanket like that. So it would be consistent, the same amount on the top as on the bottom and on the sides, or you can actually keep it like that on the bottom too. That's absolutely up to you, how you want your blanket to look like and how much you would like to add. So if you have our yarn ready, our yarn is available only at our website, not in any craft stores, and nothing similar. It's a very different quality. Our yarn, chenille yarn, is the best. So if you're ready, if you have a yarn, let's get started. Okay guys, so here is our blankie that I made before in one of my previous videos. I was using zigzag or twisted stitch or herringbone stitch, and I made it pretty narrow. It's a very narrow blanket, and the reason I made it this way because I wanted to show you how to add to this side of the blanket if you made your blanket a little bit too narrow and you don't want it to unwind and redo it. So I will show you on this side if you want just to add to the right or to the left, and then on another side I will show you if you want to add to the blanket all the way around. So let's get started. So let me show you. So this is the blanket, okay? This is how it looks like. And this is the bottom. It's blue color, then a little bit of white, and then I was using gray blue, white, and gray. And I'm now turning it on another side, and I'm now gonna add on this side. It's the right side for the blanket, and how we will do it. So we're placing the yarn here, blanket in front of you, and then you are finding the stitches on the side, and you are inserting your fingers inside this stitch on the corner, the first one, and you're grabbing working yarn, pulling it out, and you're making one extra stitch on the very corner of it, see? So now we will be adding stitches like that, or casting on stitches for every row on the side, okay? So we're having 1, 2, 3, so we will be adding stitches like that. It's kind of like casting on, and you will need to cast on stitches all the way around the blanket. The trick here is to, when you see how many you are adding, you will need to add, sometimes you will need to skip the stitch. So see, there is stitch, 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 and if you put additional stitch or cast on in every stitch, it might be a little bit too more, and your blanket will be very curly on the side. So the point is, the goal here is to cast on stitches that they would look like that. See, one by one. So here you can see that it's a little bit more stitches than we needed. They are kind of curling around each other, and to avoid it, sometimes you will need to skip one of the stitch, that all stitches would be sitting in a row like that. That will give you a beautiful addition to your blanket on the side. So like here, I will skip this stitch and I will go into the next one. This way, stitches will not be too close to each other. And this is on this pattern, this is zigzag pattern, so it's kind of not really easy to see the end of the row here. So when you are doing it for the other patterns, you just need to follow the rule that I just told you. The stitches here should not be curling. They should not be looking like they are sitting on each other. They should be nice and in a row like that, okay? So here we are, we're almost done. And this is, again, this is just simple adding stitches or some blanket widths on the side. We will not be adding anything on the bottom and on the top. So here you are, you casted on stitches, and then you are starting knitting the stitches in a simple knitting stitch. And here there is a trick, or it's up to you if you want to add a different pattern or if you want to add the same pattern. Because in any case, it will look different, okay? It will look, because you're knitting the opposite direction, okay? So it will look not the same. So here we are. See, this pattern was zigzag and it was going this direction. Here we're knitting simple knitting stitch and it's going in a different direction, so it will definitely look different, okay? So at this point, as I said, you can make it in a simple knitting stitch, or you can actually make it in the same zigzag stitch, only it will be again facing a different direction. So here I will show you how to make it in a simple knitting stitch for a few rows. And then I will switch to the zigzag or twisted stitch in the next few rows to show you the difference. So here we are, we made it. And now let's try the twisted stitch that was on this original blanket. For twisted stitch, we're taking a stitch, we are twisting it in the side or in the direction where we're going, and we are knitting it. So take a stitch, twist, and then grab working yarn and pull it out. So here we are. I will make a few rows like that, and it looks really beautiful actually with this twisted stitch on the side, okay? So let's see. This will be our first row of the twisted stitch. And I personally think it's actually giving the blanket a really beautiful, unique look when you are knitting on this side. The key here is to find a color that will be popping out, that will be standing out. Like in this blanket, as I told you, use gray, blue, and blue color. And for the side, I selected this beautiful royal blue. It's a very popular color in our collection, and it will look really nice on the side. So here we are. I made one row of the twisted stitch, and now I will make another row, guys, and then I will come back and I will show you what I will do next. Okay, guys, so look at this beauty. So we made 2 rows of knitted stitch, and then I made 2 rows of the twisted stitch, the same as here. And it looks really beautiful facing this direction. And now I will actually finish this part. I added, I don't know, probably about 2, a little bit over 2 inches on one side. And then I will show you on another side how to add it in a different way. So let me show you how to finish it. So you're taking 2 stitches at a time and then knit them together. Here we are. And this is our tail from the yarn that we attached. You can hide it underneath the stitches. You can sew it if you want, or you can just hide it. It will stuck because it's a chenille yarn. It's very touchy, attaching really nicely. So now you have 1 stitch, add another stitch, and then knit them together. And again, 1 stitch, add another, knit together. So that's what we will be doing. We will be casting off. That's called casting off. This way we will be, here you go, beautiful chain. We will be knitting 2 stitches at a time. And this way we will go through all stitches. We will make this beautiful chain on the side as a part of finishing up this blanket. And then I will show you how to finish the corner. Here we are, almost done. Make sure not to skip any stitches, because if you skip, you will see the stitch sticking out here, and then you will need to unwind this part and to fix this problem. So here we are, almost done to the end of the row. Here we are. So we now have only 2 stitches. We're knitting them together, and now we have 1 stitch. And I am taking my scissors, I'm cutting the yarn, and I am placing this end inside this last stitch and then pulling it out. So we just finished this, and we will weave in this end in between of the stitches, and then we'll go on the back and hide it on the back of any stitch. And again, you can sew it if you want, or you can just tuck it in. Here you are. So here we are, guys. Let's see how it looks on the side. See, this is a narrow blanket, and we added a good 3-4 inches on this side. It looks really gorgeous. So now I will show you another way to add on the side of the blanket. Here we are. This is a kind of more advanced way, and let's see. So here's the end. We are adding, we're placing the yarn like that. Working yarn should go on the right because we will be adding stitches here. So we're going inside the last stitch on the corner, and we are placing the yarn like that. So we're making extra stitch here, over here. So what do we do now? We are now, so here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's cast on. So we will add 5 stitches, guys, okay? So insert your finger inside the stitch, grab working yarn, and pull it out. Now, 2, and 3, and is it 5 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 stitches here, okay? So what are we doing now? This is kind of like not really easy way to do it, but if you want the stitches going in the same direction, stitches going here, rows were going here. And what you're doing, we're now knitting the same stitch. It was crisscross, it was twisted. So we the first we will be skipping, then we're going inside. We grab working yarn, okay, it's the same stitch, So we need to pull out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need one more stitch here. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're skipping first stitch, and then we're going inside the other one, pull out. So we're not twisting any stitch, guys, yet. Okay, I think it will be enough. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth stitch we need to knit together with the gray one. Okay, so here we are. We find the stitch. The yarn is here. You go inside this stitch of this color, and then you go in inside of the stitch on the side, and then you are knitting them together. So this way you're attaching this part to the blankie. Okay, so here we are. Next stitch we're doing the same. Insert your fingers inside this color, and then next color here, next row. Then grab working yarn and pull it out. Okay, so now twisted stitch, because we're making the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this stitch we are knitting because we want to make a beautiful chain on the side. Okay, now you're skipping the first stitch and you are twisting these stitches. 1, 2, 3. And here's the tricky part. It would be, if it's a simple pattern, we would keep doing this way, as I showed you. Insert your finger, grab next stitch, and knit it together. But because the pattern is twisted stitch, we will be making it twisted. So we will twist it, insert our hand, and then insert it in a stitch on this side to connect it, and then make a stitch. Okay, so we just connected it. So when you're making it this way, you will have kind of like a connection here. It will be pretty obvious, but if you want to add this way to the blankie, it will still look really beautiful. We're knitting the last stitch, simple knitting stitch, and we are skipping it when we're knitting this way. This way, we're doing it to keep this chain on the side. Okay, so again, twist, 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 and we are twisting this guy, but we're inserting it at the next stitch, next row of the gray, and pulling the blue yarn out. Here we go. Now we are twisting this stitch. We're twisting this stitch, inserting in the next gray row, and knitting blue with the gray. Then simply twisted stitch. So if you're knitting, adding to the simple pattern blanket, it would be easier. And I will show you in the next row. So because I'm trying to do the same pattern, see, it already looking really nice, gray and then blue. If it's, I'm skipping first stitch, and let me show you, if you would be adding in a simple stitch, because it's much easier, you don't need to think, what are you doing here? You're simply inserting your finger in the last stitch, then you're grabbing the stitch from the blanket what you need to connect, like that, and then you're grabbing yarn and pulling it out. That is when you're making the simple stitch. And then when you are going this direction, you're doing the same. Insert your fingers, grab the next stitch of the gray, and then pull the yarn out. This way you will have this beautiful chain. It's a simple knitting stitch. But because we are making a twisted stitch, I will be twisting stitch, then taking the gray, and then pulling the yarn through. This way it will be twisted stitch, the same as here. And then the same when you're going from the left to the right. Twist the stitch. We're going here, so we twist in this direction. And then grab next row of gray, pull working yarn through. So that's what I will be doing, guys, until I am done with the whole side of the blanket. And then I will come back and I will show you how to finish it. And actually, let me show you how to connect the yarn, because we are out of the yarn here. So let me grab another skein. Here it is. And simple knot. That's what I'm making for the most of my blankets. Knot, knot. And then you pull in the yarn in both directions until you see that or feel that nowhere to pull. Cut this tail close to the knot, and that is how you connect the yarn. You don't really see it. It's just there blending with the blanket, and then you will keep knitting, adding this beautiful border on the side. Anyway, when I'm done, I will come back and I will show you how to finish it. Okay, guys, so here we are. I just finished adding on the side with the same direction twisted stitch as the blanket was. This is the part where the direction was different, okay, the first part of the video. So what are we doing here? So it's up to you. You can just cast off all this row and you will have one little piece of this color here, or you can actually add more stitches here and, oh, this is the end, and create the same widths here. So let me show you. So you would need to add stitches to this side and then to the other side too, because if you want this blue to be around in the same size of the addition on all sides, so that's what you will do. You will add stitches all the way to the end. And didn't add here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 at least. And then we will continue with the twisted stitch. We will be skipping this first because we have this beautiful chain on the side, because when we added, I showed you how to add it with creating a chain on the side, okay? On the original blanket, there was no chain because I was going to add to the blanket, and here we are. So we're twisting stitch in the direction, remember, where we are going. So we're going to the right, we're twisting it to the right. When we're knitting in a different direction, we are twisting it in a different direction. So as we had 4 stitches here and 4 on another side, we will need to knit at least 4 rows. So this is my second row because the first row was the cast on. Here we are. Show you again. You're knitting all the way through the blue, and then with the twisted stitch, and then simple knitting stitch, which give us this beautiful chain. And then I will knit twisted stitch for 2 more rows, guys, okay? And then I will come back and I will show you how to cast off. Okay, guys, so we made 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see that now we have the same amount here as here and on this side. It looks very beautiful. And now we will be casting off. So for casting off, you're taking this first stitch, insert your fingers, then add another stitch, and then pull yarn through to make 1 stitch from 2. Then put it back on your fingers, add another stitch, and knit 2 together. So that's what we will be doing to cast off this beautiful royal blue and around of this beautiful blue colored blanket. So you are knitting 2 stitches at a time. Okay, let me show you again. So you keep your hand inside this last stitch, add another stitch, and then knit them together. Pull the yarn through. So when you are doing it this way, you will have beautiful chain on the top, and this is our goal. Here, this beautiful chain. We have beautiful chain on the sides, on both sides too, because we were skipping the first stitch on this side, and here we'll just cast it off and made the chain. So here, last 2 stitches, guys, you're taking them together and you're knitting them together. So now I will take scissors, I will cut the yarn, and then I will pull this yarn through this last stitch. So now this stitch can be weaved in on the side or underneath here. It's up to you. It's blending in really nicely, and then on the back side just tuck it in. Here you go, you will not even see where it is. So it's a beautiful addition to the blanket. See how gorgeous it looks. So it looks different here than here, but in both cases it looks really nice. And then you can, as I said, add on the side here, and then you can add, you can do the same on the side on the bottom. Or you can actually keep it like that. That would look good too. It's up to you. You will decide if you want to make your blanket only wider, not longer. If you need to add on all 4 sides, then you know how to do it. So here is our gorgeous blanket with addition. So if you do it this way, please share your pictures on our Facebook page, BeCozi Hand Knitting Club. I will put a link underneath this video. You can share your creations and see what other people creating with our beautiful yarn. Stay warm and be cozy. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. I would like to introduce my hand knitting book. The book was published in September 21, and recently it was also published with the Christian Publishing Agency. It's available on our website and also available on Amazon. This is the only book on hand knitting on the craft market. It's extremely unique and very beautiful book explaining hand knitting, giving you history of our company, how hand knitting was born, and then it also gives you a few patterns, simple patterns with a very detailed pictures how to make every single step on the way. Go to the link underneath this video and purchase this book, and let's hand knit.